Hi guys, my name is Andrea Lewis, and if you've ever read Sleeping Beauty Vampire Slayer by Maureen McGowan, however you say that, I'm going to review that book. I know it's not a very popular book, but I just got done reading it, so I thought I would. Okay, so I got once to the middle of this book, and I did not finish it. And it was because I thought, oh, this book is so predictable, whatever. And I will admit that it actually wasn't that predictable. So, one lesson learned, if you're ever in the middle of a book and you're reading it and you're thinking, oh, this is so predictable, I'm certain she's going to end up with this guy, and the way she's writing it just isn't right, think again, maybe she doesn't end up with that guy. And that's why it's written that way. So just keep reading. Because you might not, you never know. It might not turn out the way you think it's going to turn out. So that's basically what happened to me. I finally came to my senses and decided to keep reading it. And turned out Sleeping Beauty Vampire Slayer is one of those books where every other chapter or so, you actually you get to choose. You have two options. So actually, it let me choose. So no, it wasn't predictable, because I could choose whatever I wanted. And then I got to see how that turned out. So that was kind of interesting, really. So it's one of those books those unique books where you get to choose what happens next. So that's a cool thing. At first I wasn't sure I liked that. But oh my god, when you get to that chapter you care about, you will like it. Trust me, you'll be like, yes, thank you, author, for letting me choose. Thank you for letting me decide the future fate of this princess here. You will feel that way, trust me. Anyway, so it's awesome when you get to a part in the book where you really care about. Now that being said, in my opinion, the middle was the best part, based off the route that I chose. And I will say, as I went on reading it, I didn't think the book at that point didn't have any more decisions to make, I don't believe. And to me, it wasn't as action-filled, and it wasn't as compelling of a plot from then on. But that point in the middle, she makes you choose between something, and I thought it was so interesting and so fascinating. And right before that, when someone random shows up where you have no idea what you expect, and then you start to figure out, and you're like, oh, this is so exciting! But that's like the height of the excitement, in my opinion, of this book. So it's like I want to be able to see Princess Lucette, be able to run off to another kingdom, or oh no, we find out that the evil vampire queen is after us, and then as a result we decide, oh my god, we have to go, we have to run, we're on a mission, and you hear that enchanting music, or not enchanting, that super fast, kind of like the music that plays when Mulan is getting ready to, to leave and go off and take her father's place, kind of like that intense music, and then they're all around, and they're all getting their things together, and they're getting ready to go, and they're trying to come up with a plan, almost like they're secret agents or something. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted her to take the excitement a little further. But the problem is, the plot's a little constricting, because she chose to do Sleeping Beauty Vampire Slayer, which is an awesome idea in my opinion. What she did is, she twisted it, in my opinion, in an awesome and extremely creative way, which is what grabbed my attention. Well, the title grabbed my attention, but the title basically tells you what it's about. And so I'm saying it was really creative to me, and it grabbed my attention as a result. And, basically what it does is it takes Sleeping Beauty's curse, and it changes it a little to be that the curse is that she's the only one awake at night, while the rest of the kingdom is forced to be asleep. And then vice versa, she has to be awake during the day, and the rest of the kingdom she has to be asleep during the day, and the rest of the kingdom is forced to be awake. So it's vice versa, the kingdom is asleep at night, the kingdom is awake at day. She has to be awake at night and asleep during the day. So she's forced to deal with these vampires that are all around on her own. Okay? And it basically tears the two parents apart, because they both have different ideas as to how she should be raised. Her father wants to be overprotective. Her mother thinks no, she should be trained in vampire slaying. She should go to the academy, learn how to slay vampires, because she needs to be ready to defend herself in case something happens. I personally think that's the smarter one. And I will say that's the other cool thing about this. She's not just a sleeping beauty waiting for a prince to rescue her. She's out here being a badass sleeping beauty. She's not just sleeping. She's out here fighting vampires. This woman is badass. So I think the way that she changed everything was really cool. It had a very, if you believe in this, feministic approach. Or equalist might be a better word for it, although someone tells me he hates that word, but you get what I mean by the word. Whether or not you like what I mean it's a very good approach as to the woman doesn't have to be like, oh, woe is me, rescue me. You get what I mean. That's what I mean. You know, the woman can defend herself, she can, and yet, that being said, there's still romance. So the romance does not cease regardless of that, and I like that. Because I think some feminists get a little too caught up in, oh, you don't need a man, and oh, why does every book have to have a romantic ending? Oh, come on! We all like romance, a lot of us like romance, what's wrong with that? Also, you know what? I think it is by nature natural to desire romance. So we think it's the media, some people think it's the media, some people think it's, and that's why they have feminists saying, oh, you don't need a man, but I don't think so. I think it's kind of natural to want that. And I think it's about wanting love sometimes, and not wanting to be alone, and and not everyone has that love that they want in their life. So I think to tell someone they're not allowed to want something like that is a little rude. That's my personal opinion. Because I think everyone's allowed to want what they want. Now, if you're trying to make it clear that they just don't need a man, they can do it on their own, but if you want a man, I'll support you and I hope you find that, then that might be okay. If you're just reassuring them that they can handle themselves on their own, that's okay. It depends on how you go about it, I think. So anyway, that's the beauty of it. She doesn't need a man, quote unquote.